G'day guys, I know it's been quite a while since I've actually uploaded a video to the channel, and the first video bringing out to the channel is a Direful deck profile. This is post DZ-BT08. I just wanted to quickly just get this deck profile out as soon as possible, just so people have an idea of how to build Direful dolls post at 8. Now obviously from when I've last played it, the deck has definitely changed a lot more versatile, and there's a lot more options. So we'll quickly go over the ride line and the triggers, and then we'll get into the meta deck, which is the remaining Direful dolls. So we'll go with the ride lines. We've got the 0, we've got the 1. So what the 1 does is that when you ride the grade 2 over the 1, you've got the top 7, you choose 2 Direful dolls, put them into your soul. Then we have the grade 2. What the grade 2 does is that when it's right over by a grade 3 Direful doll, you can call it to Rearguard Circle, and then you can choose a card from your hand on the Rearguard Circle, put it in their soul, as long as it's a Direful doll, and then you draw a card and give it itself in your Vanguard plus 5k. Then we have Android. So what Android does is you count plus 1, you just have the same number of worker cards with Direful doll and their card names from your soul as the grade of your opponent's Vanguard, and call on the Rearguard Circle. And then if you call 3 or more cards, it gets strike plus 1 until the end of turn. Then order in the Vanguard Circle, when this unit is attacked, you can choose up to 1 Workeroid card with Direful doll and its card name from your bind zone, call the Guardian Circle, and it gets plus 5,000 shield until the end of battle. So going into the triggers, we do have the 1 Dark Seas OT. It's still really good in this deck. Always having Android with the extra 10 counter crit is very scary. It definitely can push quite hard, especially if the opponent doesn't have PGs to stop it, so really good. We run the free fronts. Now, typically we used to run free draws previously. The reason we run the free fronts now as well is that we want to push for higher numbers and end games a lot quicker, because a lot of the time, especially in this meta, it requires usually 2 card guards, sometimes a bit more, and we don't always have triggers and a doll to guard with all the time, which means we have to focus on pushing a bit faster instead of grinding the game out, because our grind game isn't always the best. So we need to focus on kind of pushing a lot quicker, and the fronts definitely help with that game plan. Next we do have 4 heals, so explanatory and then 8 crits. We do have 4 PGs, one of being the Tentitude. Now into the dolls, we run free Pelagia. So the reason why we run free Pelagia is that we have a lot more cards in this deck that allow us to find Direful dolls outside of the ride line now. So we do typically can find Pelagia a lot faster. So we can actually get away with one free Pelagia in this deck. Now obviously she's still really good because she's our biggest shield in the bind zone. But again, we can get away with run free Pelagia, and she's obviously still very powerful in the deck, so we do still run 3. Next we do have 4 Bartholomew. This is a counter charge of the deck, so essentially it allows us to give a Direful doll 5k, and we can also counter charge one as well. Now do keep in mind the counter charge is only once per turn, but what this allows us to do, it actually allows us to stretch our resources a bit further. So just say for example, we only have 1 counterblast to work with. We can essentially use Android and then another Direful that uses a counterblast to gain more advantage. Now before we have Bartholomew, doing something as simple as that did cost 2 counterblasts. So with Bartholomew now in the equation, we can stretch our counterblast a lot further and do a lot more plays and gain a lot more advantage. So overall, she's a very, very good addition to the deck. Next we do have, for now, Forget the Passage of Time. So this is one of the set orders in the deck. So it has 2 skills. So auto, when this card is put into the order zone, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 normal unit with Direful doll and its card name, and grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from among them, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck, and then act in the order zone. If you have a Vanguard with Direful doll on its card name, put this card into drop, choose the 2 cards of Direful doll and their different card names from your drop and put them in your soul. So the second ability of this card is really, really good. It's essentially a main phase Pelagia, which does help make some really, really strong combos, and we'll go through those when we go through like the guy, which I'll do later on. This is actually very handy. It's a bit more like a bit of fail safe, especially when we might not see Pelagia, might not even see Liberata. And in those times that we don't see it, we do have a bucket plan to actually get our Direful on the salt, which is great. And then the first skill being very handy as well. We mainly will use it on turn 2. Turn 1, not so much. Obviously we do have the access to Pelagia and Bartholomew and the new Grey One we'll talk about soon. But if we wait onto grade 2, we have a bit more of a spread. So we have more options, because sometimes we may be missing pieces. We might miss a grade 2, you know, we may not. But we just kind of want to expand our options. And you know, the fact that it allows us to add a Direful again, just like our right one, it allows us to deck fin more, and it makes it easier to hit triggers. So really strong set order, and a very powerful addition to the deck. Next we do have 4 Direful Conera. So this is a new Grey Weapon set 8, and what it does is when it's placed a Reguard circle from hand, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose the 1 card with Direful on its card name from among them, put it into soul and shuffle your deck. And then on a Reguard circle, when your other Reguard is bound during your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Direful on its card name, you can bind this unit and choose 2 of your units and it gets 5,000 pounds in the turn. So the first ability is really good, and again allows us to deck thin, allows us to find more Direful, and it builds up our soul a lot better, as it allows us to call more quality Reguards out from Angel's skill. Especially if we open a couple of starters, we can build our soul up and have more quality calls overall, which is really nice. But what she shines most with is her second skill, because she gives 2 Direful 5k power. Now, as if you've been a long Direful player, one of the problems with this deck is sometimes you are swinging with your Reguards and you may have to boost it, especially in Providenza first. So for example, you might use Providenza in conjunction with with Pelagia to get a couple of dolls when you drop 20 of soul, so then you can call out cards from Providenza. And the problem is that once you call it out, your Reguard is just unboosted, and it doesn't hit a magic number big enough where it requires 2 cards to guard. Especially when you call it Liberata. With Conera, it actually does help with that now, as it gives those Reguards an extra increment of 5k, and it actually helps make those better strong magic numbers, especially when you open 2. If you open 1 Conera and you have 2 Liberatas on the soul, you're calling out and you do 5 attacks or even 4 attacks, for example, your Liberatas are going to be hitting for 28k now, which is a really good magic number, because if your opponents aren't using fronts, the opponent is forced to use a 15k and a 5k on top, provided they have a trigger, which is really good. If you do open 2 Coneratas, essentially both those Coneratas are acting as boosters when they're removed from the field, as they're going to give those 2 Reguards on the front row, or 2 units in the front row that we give the power to, we give them an extra stack on 10k, which means those cards you swing with essentially kind of swing as if they are being boosted, which helps a lot. Consistently makes stronger power columns, which we couldn't initially do. It's just such a phenomenal card. That's why I run out 4 copies. We have for Providenza, this is the multi-attack on the deck, so we won't really go into it. I've gone over this card quite a lot in my other videos. Next we do have 4 Direful Akina. So when it's just placed on Reguard circle, if you have a Vanguard of Direful on its card name, you can counter +1. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose it to 1 normal unit with Direful on its card name from among them, reveal it, put it in your hand and shuffle your deck. And then on Reguard circle auto, when it attacks, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard of Direful on its card name, you may have this unit get plus 10,000 power until the end of the turn. If you do, at the end of the battle, bind this unit. So first of all, we have another card that allows us to find a Direful, which again helps deck them, which is really good overall. So essentially we have 12 cards in our deck that help deck fin and find more dolls, so we can essentially find our pieces a lot more consistently, a lot more easy, which is great. But that second skill, it actually getting 10k power regardless of grade the opponent is on, is phenomenal. As aside from Liberata, we did not have any other Reguard that gave itself an extra increment of 10,000 power outside of Liberata. So now we actually have more ways of hitting bigger numbers much faster and much quicker, regardless of the grade the opponent is on, which is very, very good. So this is a very, very powerful addition to the deck overall. And yeah, I'm just very, very happy when I saw this promo revealed. Just seeing the applications I bought the deck was really good. But then with all the other cards being revealed as well, it just makes Conera a lot more powerful. So that's right, around 4 copies of Conera. And then lastly, we do have 4 copies of Liberata. Again, she's just really good. She allows us to get dolls from drop into soul when it's placed on regular circle or guardian circle. So we're constantly recycling our resources. And then she also does gain 10,000 power, regardless of grade when she attacks, and has the addition of the counterblast when I draw a card. And essentially, this is the build. So if you guys are looking to build Direful dolls post set 8, this is definitely a list you can go for. It will perform quite well. Direful dolls are in quite a good position. They're very versatile. They can actually rush pretty quickly when they get to grade 3, push out really good numbers. They also do have a substantially good grinding aim as well, provided that you have like bigger shields in hand. So again, usually one doll plus a trigger is usually a 25k shield, so you can still guard a lot of attacks relatively well. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with the support that Android has been gotten over the time. I'm excited to actually pick up this deck again. It is very, very fun, and there's so much more options, and the ceiling feels quite high on this deck, which I love. So yeah, very happy to be in Direful dolls again, and I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys are excited to be playing Direful dolls post set 8 as well. And yeah, just do let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the deck. I will do my best to answer them, but also again, I will answer them the best that I can in my guide as well. And yeah, that's about it for me. Yeah, so if you guys did like the video, leave a like, and while you're down there, why not subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that when I upload another video, you will be notified. Thanks for watching.